What we believe is the other one truth is that the body is a miracle and can rejuvenate and heal itself. So we are the largest producer of aloe. And right now I want to bring up a dear friend of mine, Peggy Campagna. She's from Texas. And Peggy, why did you choose Univera? Why is Univera a part of your life?
Well, Lynn, at 20 years old, I was doing the job I loved. I thought I would do it for in my entire life. I was a flight attendant. 18 years later, Brandy filed bankruptcy. And I, overnight, was without a job. I was a single mom with a precious 10-year-old and not prepared at age 38 to have a lot of opportunities. At 40, I took a risk on my State Farm agency, and borrowing $155,000, I did it. Over 26 years, I built a very successful agency that could afford me six-figure income. This was my first taste of residual income. You know, I loved doing the work once and getting paid over and over. But as I worked with those clients over the years, I realized they were agonizing over outliving their money. And I vowed I would never retire and be in a position, no matter how large my fixed income was, that I could not make some money if I wanted to. I wanted that freedom to have as much as I wanted, when I wanted, do what I wanted and not worry. So, and over those years, stress, long hours, managing staff, hiring and firing, I hated it. My health suffered a little bit, and a friend loved me enough to introduce me to Extra and Regenicare, which had profound changes in my health, gave me my life back, my vitality back. And I was so excited as I shared it to everyone, I couldn't help but say, oh gosh, you've got to try this. This stuff is wonderful. Well, Univera just kept sending me checks. I had no idea why. And finally, I became aware as I wanted to retire and was searching for something to do with my mind in retirement that, you know, Peggy, you're doing what you love right now. You're helping people repair their bodies faster than they fall apart, and you're getting paid and they're getting paid in the process. So at Univera, I have this unbelievable community of support, people who love what they do. I can make as much money as I want to, work as much as I want, and I'm excited with a purpose to wake up every day. And oh, by the way, I forget to tell you, I'm 75 and still building muscle.
Oh, hello. Drop the mic, Peggy. Okay. Thank you so much. Next up, we're going to have a young mom, and I'd really love to know from Kim why she's choosing Univera and how it's helped her.
Hi, my name is Kim. I was introduced about 19 months ago through a couple nurses. I had my health when I was introduced. I was really sick and it was declining rapidly. I had severe head discomfort. I had slurring words, extreme fatigue, where it was very hard for me to get up in the morning and be motivated because it took a lot of effort to get up because I was just really sick. I had 12 lesions on my brain, which was a huge impact on me. I ended up starting the Aloe and the Extra. Then 3 months after that, I ended up adding Femme Fatale and Prime. That has had huge impacts on my life. My health has dramatically improved. I have more energy. I'm more active now. I'm able to do things that was a dream to me at that point when I started, because I went from being very active go-getter to when I got sick, I couldn't do anything. Making dinner was a struggle for me, or getting up playing with my kids, or going out running an errand was just really difficult for me. So I ended up losing 40 pounds within the first 3 months. I then started maintaining. By a year, I had lost 67 pounds, went from 200 pounds to 133. I am able to work again. I'm able to do so much in my life now. I'm able to enjoy my family. I'm able to make memories. I'm able to just be present now and be more active. I'm able to work, and I'm being able to be a mom I'm proud of now.
Wow, Kim, what a great story. Look at how magnificent you are. It's
Thank
thank
you.
you. And all you have to do is be yourself and share your story, and you win in business too. So
Yeah,
thank you so much.
you're
Lori,
welcome.
Lori Andrews is next, and we love hearing from Lori. Why
Hi,
Univera, Lori?
hi,
Why?
Lynn. Thank you. I'm Lori Andrews from Minneapolis, and my profession currently is corporate trainer facilitator. Previously, and I've been doing the corporate training for 20 years, but previously I was a marriage and family therapist for 10 years. And ironically, I had to get out of that for family reasons. I did not have enough time to see my family. What was wrong with that? So when I made that shift, just at about the time that there was a market correction and my industry changed, I had met Univera. Thanks to an introduction of my favorite product, Extra, I will never return to my tired self. I now perform, feel, and act 25 years younger, and I'm 55, almost there. So anyway, what happened is I became outsourced as a corporate trainer to a bigger speakers bureau. And in that process, my pay dropped in half. That was very humbling after 20 years of devoting myself to a company, which is a big wake-up call. And I decided for family reasons, I needed to shift and develop more residual income. So I felt rock solid about Univera. I was so grateful that I had this product experience and I could share with integrity. I knew that the products were not on trial, and this was my chance. And so now, fast forward about 5 years, things have shifted in my family to where, you know, my husband needs to retire next year. He's also almost 55 due to health reasons. And now I'm able to help cover the medical care on the open market so he can freely leave his job. That's a big X factor for a lot of families. So I'm super excited about my future and what's happening with Univera. And I encourage you, do your due diligence, find out how we work as a team. You're gonna love it. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Lori. What an amazing story. These are just people choosing to be the best version of themselves. Thank you so much. I would like to now bring up another mom, Mackenzie Flick. And I think Griffin may be in the picture with her. Mackenzie, why are you choosing Univera at this point in time in your life?
Well, I was introduced actually by you and David about a little over a year and a half ago. And I'm going to share just one part of the story today because one of the things that I've truly suffered my whole life with has been extremely chronic sore throats. And I just want to say it really is just such a lack of quality of life because when I get these, this isn't just a little soreness. Like I can't swallow. I am in so much pain and I have done everything I could to try to resolve this. And the funny thing is, as a teenager, I would get really upset with my dad because he's an ear, nose, and throat doctor and he could never help me. And I resorted to making appointments with his partner. She took my tonsils out. There was no resolution there. And I have really sought after a lot of different ways to heal, and I just have never been able to get it there. So when I started Univera, I didn't even think about the sore throat aspect because I really felt at this point in my life like I'm never going to get rid of this because it just never goes away. And yeah, it's just been a real emotional roller coaster for me. But it wasn't until about a year on the products, I go, oh my God, I haven't had a sore throat in a year. Like, what? So it just was one of those moments of, you know, clearly I was on aloe and extra. There was something that was getting fixed and healed in my body that then the sore throat was a reflection of that. And with having a baby, actually a couple months ago, I did have my first sore throat again, but I was just really in the thick of not sleeping. I ran out of the aloe and I kind of took it for granted what it was doing for my body. And I was like, oh no, we are nipping this in the butt. And I got right back on aloe and I feel so much better already. So for me, it's just been a huge quality of life I've gotten back and it has turned into a business. I get to stay home with my little bud here and it just feels so good to be able to help people and share this because there is something out there for everybody. And especially if you feel like there's no solution, you know, there always is. So
Thank you,
That's my story.
Mackenzie. Thank you, Mackenzie. Thank you, Griffin. That's one of the reasons I started doing the business too, because I wanted to stay at home with my children. So next up, I'm very happy to have Anne Moreau from the East Coast. She's a nurse, and I'm probably a lot more. So Anne, would you just say who you are and why you as a nurse professional chose Univera? Anne, I know you're there. Well, you know what? Right now I see, there she is.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, and see you.
Okay, good. I was going to use my phone because I have better service that way, but that's okay.
All right.
So what happened that 16 years ago, I had my own health struggles. And of course, being a nurse, I tried all of the everything in medicine, nothing made me better. And I saw this significant decline in my health over time, and nothing was helping me. And as I got older, I had, like in my 30s, I started with some joint discomfort, bowel issues. I hit my 40s, I now had issues with head discomfort. And then I hit 50, and my joint discomfort was worse. I now had female issues. So you can see the cumulative damage, that seesaw of damage and repair. And I finally connected with Univera. And when I tried the aloe, within a 3-day period, I saw a huge change. And I tried other aloe before, but never saw the results that I saw using this particular aloe. And I did Alodophilus, and I took some Prime at the time. 2 months later, I started toning, and I had never noticed that before. It was pretty exciting to see the toning as I was aging, because I'm in my 50s and I'm toning. And I can tell you that it's been 15 years of my being involved with Univera. It took a whole year for me to get rid of all joint discomfort, to get rid of all of the, I had skin issues, all of that disappeared. And today, 15 years later, I play with my grandchildren. I roll on the floor. I play kickball with them. I have my life back, and I'm aging, which is very exciting. So for me, I have this huge goal of helping 1 million people experience what I've experienced. So you got to build a team to do that. And that's what this is all about for me, is really growing a huge team that can share this information.
And thank you so much. Everybody keeps talking about their age. You know why? Because we all look young. We all look younger than our real age. So for us, it's kind of fun to tell people how old we are. Well, speaking of that, let's bring up a gentleman by the name of Brian Boyanowski. He's just a dear friend, a great leader, Blue Diamond. Brian, would you like, oh, I'm so sorry, you don't know what a Blue Diamond is. He's a great guy. And Brian, why don't you introduce yourself and why you've chosen Univera?
Hi there, Lynn. Thank you very much. My name is Brian Boyanowski from Lake Oswego, Oregon. And actually where my journey started with Univera was my son Brandon at 8 weeks old came down with RSV, which is just a respiratory virus that caused some lung damage, led to bronchiolitis, pneumonia, asthma. He had a bunch of GI issues. The doctors thought he was having seizures. By the time he was 16 months old on 8 prescription drugs, wasn't getting any better. By the time he was 18 months old, had the equivalent of 36 years worth of inhaled steroids in his 18-month-old body. At that point, we were willing to do anything, and we put Brandon on several Univera products. Well, had a dramatic change within a very short period of time and got him off all his medication. And fast forward, Brandon's 16 years old now. No nebulizers, no aero chambers, no steroids, no nothing. Brandon is an absolutely perfect boy. They said he would carry around an inhaler for the rest of his life. No inhaler. They said he wouldn't play sports because of the lung damage, wouldn't be able to. He plays every sport under the sun: football, basketball, baseball, lacrosse, track and field, skis, golf. He's living life to the fullest, which is remarkable. And so that really transitioned my whole vision, because I realized, wow, products that work and that impact people so dramatically. And then my father actually, we sat down and had this conversation, and he asked me 3 questions. And he said, Brian, where are you at in life? I'm like, okay, well, I know where that is. I've, successful family, young family, all that good stuff. And he said, Brian, where do you want to be in life? And I knew what that was. I knew my dreams and goals and aspirations. And then he said, Brian, is there a line connecting the two? Like, whoa, that was a deep question. So I sat down with the vice president of the company I worked for at the time, and I said, okay, here's what I want. Where are we going? What are we doing? And he said, Brian, are you willing to relocate to Atlanta, Georgia? I said, no, I have a young family. I don't want to move to Atlanta, Georgia. He said, are you willing to travel 3 to 4 weeks a month? I said, no, I have a young family. That's not what I want to do. He said, then Brian, what are you willing to give up for what you want? I gave up a wife to be where I'm at. And I realized at that point that there was no line connecting where I was to where I wanted to be. And so when that realization occurs, one of two things has to occur. You either have to change what you want your life to look like, or you have to find the vehicle to get you where you want to be. And at that point, I really realized Univera was that vehicle. Products that worked, a business opportunity to create that residual income that gives me the freedom that I desire to spend time with my family, to do the things that we want to do with whoever we want to do, whenever we want to do it. And so we engaged with Univera, built a big Univera business that has allowed us that freedom to do all that stuff. I've got to be the dad at the pumpkin patch with all the moms, when my kids are growing up. We've last year we had the ability, my best friend, the love of my life, my wife, on our 20th anniversary, we spent 3.5 weeks in Europe, and we just got to go and travel because we had the freedom to do that. So Univera truly has changed the trajectory of our family, both in health, but the opportunity to create that true freedom and allow us to be our best and our highest is what it's really about.
Wow, I got goosebumps just listening to you say that just so clearly. Because people do, they look outside of trying to figure out how to fix their lives. When someone shares Univera with them, that is the answer, isn't it?
It is.
Thank you, Brian. So next up, we're going to have Selma. And Selma, would you share why you're doing Univera? What led you to think out of the box?
Yeah, for me, it was introduced to us by our in-laws, my in-laws, and they had a dramatic transformation health-wise, completely changed their life. They went from having no I don't even know where to start, but they just completely changed their lives, 180, and seeing their transformation, just I recognized it as a business opportunity because I had been in a company in the same industry, and so I recognized it as that. And the first thing that my husband and I said was, we need to find out more about this company as a business. At the time, my husband had been laid off, and we were trying to figure out what we were going to do. We have actually today is my daughter's birthday, so we have an 11-year-old as of today, and now that we're in a stage in life where we are looking for, what are we doing for her? What is our legacy? And knowing that this company is what it is, it just came to us at the most perfect time. And what we found out about it, it completely checked every box that we didn't know we were looking for, until, we found out more. We've always wanted to help people, and not only, just help people in life. And we did a trip about 3 months before we found out about Univera. We did a trip to Guatemala. That's where I'm from. And it was the first time that my husband had ever been there. And when we were getting on the plane on the way back home from Guatemala, he turned around and he said, I want to come back. I want to help these people. I want to help these children. And in our first meeting for Univera, when we were meeting people, we met somebody that had been to Guatemala on a mission trip. And so that checked out that box. The health thing, within a couple weeks, I actually immediately felt extra, but within a couple weeks, I was feeling my joints were better. I was sleeping incredibly. And my whole family was just affected by the health part. And now, the wealth part, we're building a business. We're meeting people, which is getting us out there. We're kind of introverted extroverts with what we have. And so this business is getting us out there in the community and getting us to talk to people, and getting us to just be out there and be outgoing and telling our friends, hey, let's go catch up for coffee. And And then just sharing what we have, it makes us feel good. When I talk about Univera, it fills me with joy to just express what it is. And all it takes is for you to be open-minded and really do your research about what this company is, because it is amazing.
Well, that's awesome. Not only did it bring health to you, it seems like it's giving you a community.
Yes.
And purpose. Just so everyone knows, Univera does have an arm of its business called Serve First. And every time you order Univera products, 100 points, you're able to help 4 children with their needs for vitamin A and vitamin D through our partnership with Vitamin Angels. And we've helped like 4 million people so far, and we've worked all over the place. So I'm really glad you brought that up, because that's part of who we are too. Next, I'd like to bring up woman Rita Kwan. Thank you, Selma. Rita, thank you so much for introducing Univera to Kimmer, who introduced it to us, basically. And I'd love for you to maybe talk a little bit about Serve First, but why did you choose Univera? Why did you use it to up-level your life?
Thank you, Lynn. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's so exciting to be able to share something that works. Everybody's looking for something that works. Univera came into my life because a woman bumped into me that I didn't know and opened my eyes to the possibility that I could improve my health. I was walking with a cane, things weren't looking good. Doctors were saying scary things. And I didn't know it, but soon Univera became the vehicle that I reached out to my friends and my family. And I said, yes, yes, yes. And so did they. Because when you have a loving relationship and you share from your heart, honestly, transparently, people feel it. We said yes to Univera, which turned into an extraordinary financial platform, stability that I had only had from working almost 7 days a week, 16-hour days in the past, and didn't know what I was going to do. Univera came in, and because I reached out to people and they reached out to people, a natural thing that we do every day, and said yes, Univera has been able to support me and my husband through some extreme difficult times. And one of the things that won our hearts in the process is Serve First. Serve First goes into countries all over the world and works in partnership with Vitamin Angels and other organizations to bring nutrition to people who may walk for hours and hours or days to get to where Serve First sets up. And we provide that because our owner has a heart bigger than New York and wants to be able to end hunger, starting with children.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want that? So we get to share the big picture of who Univera is. And people come into Univera and they go, oh, it's about feeling good. I didn't know I could feel this good. It's like, yeah, it's about that. It's about reaching out to the people that you love and letting them know that that's a choice. And then you start getting paid to be healthy. People say, wow, I'm getting paid to be healthy. That doesn't,
Yeah.
I've never known that before. And they get excited, and then they start seeing, oh, this is a financial vehicle. Yes, it's a financial vehicle that can take you like I don't want to say magic carpet, but that's what always pops into my mind.
All right. Magic carpet ride of Univera. Thanks, Rita. I love that. I just want to remind everyone that as we've talked about these products, we are just business associates. So our products, we cannot diagnose, say we're curing or anything like that. We're just saying if you give the body the right raw materials, it will rejuvenate itself. So that's it. Thank you so much.